Miami, Florida, Dade County, 305. Yeah. On the Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we bout to make a sting. 305 Miami, we bout to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast. On the Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we bout to make a sting. 305 Miami, we bout to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast. Jalen Waddle with the catch, to a throw it, go fast. Big Mike with the round, O-line looking style. Miles G with the run, South Beach having fun. Other team gonna lose, don't care who boos. 305 is the place to be. If you don't believe me, just wait and see. Don't care what people really gotta say. Ride till I die, fins up every day. We winning the game, we going to a party. Spitting on the beat like Playboy Cardi. Gonna take a pic with Waddle. About to celebrate with a bottle. Dolphins about to win the dang ring. Ground and shine, bling bling. Don't give a what, look if you buck. Your team is so trash and they really just suck. His squad. Miami Dolphins, my squad. Aqua and orange on me every day. Shawty really about to be my bae. I'm always repping the 305. If you hate to leave, you can say goodbye. At the end of the day, Miami with the dub. After the game, I'll see you in the club. On the Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we about to make a sting. 305 Miami, we about to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast. On the Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we about to make a sting. 305 Miami, we about to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast.
Hit squad representative. Big beats, we eat squads up for dinner. Legendary team, better watch how you approach them. If you can't swim, get tossed in the ocean. Get lost in the ocean. Bad attitude, we be causing commotion. Dade County boy, one claim South Beach. When the South Florida sports so low, the mouthpiece. MIAMIDWA, that's the way I vibe. Throw fins up, that's the way we ride. All around the globe, dolphins worldwide. On a clip with JB, then you know we made heat. Lead teams in the dark like it's new EP. Fins out of this world, we the new ET. Defense doing magic, make your QB sleep. When we hit the field, then we get into the grind. Hit that touchdown song, then we get into the shine. Working every day so we can get back to the prime. If you check your clock, you can see it's 2 a time. Even if it ain't ticking, then the fans still there. Screaming out loud with our hands in the air. You either got a full cup or a can in the air. Win the Super Bowl, that's the plan this year. Yeah.
Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we about to make a sting. 305 Miami, we about to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast. On the Gulf side of Florida, they said it wouldn't rain. But down in South Beach, yeah, we about to make a sting. 305 Miami, we about to have a blast. Got a guy from Bama and he's so stupid fast. MCJB.
City rising, a little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time. My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds a gift. He knowin' when to go with fits. So we knowin' when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that pick about. Bad vibes get sent out. Only fans up in this house. We been waiting, yeah, we been patient. Now it's time to cash out, no discount. Super Bowl, yeah, we en route. I don't know when, but it's close. I don't wanna overhype, but I just know I like it. So excited, league gon' notice now. You should notarize it. They say tour from that rock. Shout out to Samoa and Islands. Time to lay the smack down. You think he Dwayne Johnson? Time to be the people's champ. Hit him with the people's elbows. Stick together like it's Velcro. You think you could stop us? Hell no. All day I dream about sports. I think I need some chateau. Custom with some dolphins colors. Just to let them know we here. Yeah. I know the whole city rising. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fins for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just to welcome bro. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time. Time to grind, time to shine. Two a time, two a time. Two a time, two a time.
Two a time, two a time. Really hope he the man. Hope we found us a gem. Like the Heat found Bam. Wanna take time to thank Fitz, cause he put on a show. But the young man up, in the whole city know. Time to catch all the blessings. Cash out on investment. Ball out, don't choke. Fins want all the smoke.
falling down on the sideline.
Help is on the way.
Telling the fans, help is on the way.
808 touchdown.
MCJB.
Hey, Khalid, slap that boot.
DJ Flair, make the money flare.
Going crazy about the fiends, so we really battle win. Jalen Waddle too fast, Raheem Mozart with the dash. Clocking in, it's tour time, I was running through the line. 305 all day, ready now, we gonna play. Spitting on the beat, you better watch out for the fins. We going to the Super Bowl and really gonna win. 305 Miami Dolphins here to stay. Best be ready, cause we not just here to play. Cheater with the catch, do it, throw it, go fish. Big Mike with the route, old line looking stout. Aqua orange all day, 305 every day. Fins up, have a blast, defense, make them crash. Two with the ball, wide receiver gonna catch it. Jalen with the touchdown, Waddle with it. Baker with the hit stick, like he had a mind. Byron X, you know they both clamp God. Fins up. Fins up.
Welcome everybody to the Phinsaholics show. I am your host, Batman2423. Shout out to everybody that catched a little bit of this morning of Steven's show. Great show by Steven, nonetheless. Awesome show. Much love to everybody. I know I don't do this often, coming on the afternoons. I used to do it back in the days, but when I'm off and I have the time, and I got to run some errands later, but I am going to get to them. So, but I do like to talk some Fins. Obviously, a lot of stuff has transpired. I mean, Kareem Hunt now has been officially, they haven't come out themselves, Cleveland Browns, but he can be had for a 4th-round pick. And shout out to Ali yesterday. He was bringing up great points as far as should we go after him or not. And this is a topic of conversation that I do want to get into today. So I'm going to be dropping the link right now. And as you guys come in, I'm going to bring you on. And I'm going to talk a little bit until you guys do that. Now, that being said, Kareem Hunt is available via trade for a 4th-round pick. Hypothetically, that's what the rumors are saying right now. Now, that being said, we don't have a 4th-round pick this year. Could it be that we could offer a 4th-round pick in the 2023-2024 season? I am all for that, ladies and gentlemen. I like the deal. I like this for the Miami Dolphins, especially for the stretch coming up now. We need to get another running back. And I understand Chase could, get better at the end of the day. I understand that. But before we get into that, I do want to give a shout out, obviously. Tailgating 305, as you saw the video, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get some custom chains, obviously, the chains you always see me at the game. I got MCJB's chain right here next to me. Beautiful chain. As you can see right here, this is MCJB's chain. Christian can get you some custom work, man, some custom chains. You got to just reach out to Christian. The email is in the description, or if you want to reach out through Instagram, you want to get something done, even if it's a plaque for your business or something Dolphins related or any other team, to say the least. You want to get a Islanders, a chain, a New York Knicks, Lakers, whatever you want, Cowboys. He can make it for you for your man cave, women cave, your office, your game room, or where you simply just watch your games, wherever you hang out and watch your football games. So at the end of the day, shout out to Christian 305. Make sure you hit Tailgating 305. Should hit up Christian if you want to get some custom chains. And obviously, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot do this without Vesasor, ladies and gentlemen. Met Pedro this weekend. Shout out to Pedro, man, down from Vesasor. He was able to get me his hands on a very, 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 very unique beer. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I might bring it out. I have one left. I have the 1972 commemorative Dolphins beer called Perfecta. Very hard to open because they put wax on the top. But I might open it up. I might crack it open. I know it's the middle of the day, but we'll see. We'll see. What's going on? Let me bring up Cat for Life. What's going on, Cat for Life?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? Don't open that beer, bro. That's vintage. Do not open it.
I said myself, so listen, I bought two, right? And I normally don't spend that much money on beer, but I wanted to buy I thought the beer was going to be a little bit cheaper, but hey, it's a commemorative bottle. It's a big bottle. It's like almost like a wine bottle. And I bought two of them, and I opened one for the game, and I wanted people to around me. I know Ali got a chance to try, Steven, Solo, they tried it, Dalfreaky. A lot of people, were out there. They tried the beer. They liked it. But I have one left. And I said to myself, I am not going to crack this open until the Dolphins do something later in the season, whether it's win a playoff game or even take it to the Super Bowl. I mean, listen, call me crazy, but that's what I wanted to do with that beer itself. So you're right. I'm not going to crack it open. I'm going to do that. I am going to do that.
You never know, man. You get invited to a playoff game. You get one of the guys to sign the can.
Hey, listen. Oh, hey, that'd be amazing. Great point. No, it's a bottle. But yes, I love the idea, though. I do love the idea. But Cap, you were listening in. Did you listen today to Steven's show in the morning? Obviously, yeah, you were in the comment section. So
yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff.
We were talking about Kareem Hunt. You're in the mindset, from my understanding, that you would like to trade for somebody if we think that this team is going to go in. Talk to me.
If you really know my mindset, which I think you do, I would want to trade every damn year. And I know it's not possible, but, I just, like, somebody made a great point, too. And I know the NBA is the NBA, but how is it the NBA can make so many goddamn moves with guaranteed contracts like it's nothing? And these guys, don't even get guaranteed contracts, but it baffles me how we cannot even pursue something with a position of need when the fan base knows it. But the front office is like, the fans don't know what they want. And at the end of the season, the fans end up being right. So I just, everybody questions the IQ level of the fans. I question the IQ level of the front office sometimes, especially the medical staff. But that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
different story for another day.
Yeah, like Kareem Hunt is not a bad pickup, man. Jerry Jeudy, even if we give up like very, very low capital, it's not a bad move. Like, if we're going to be persistent in trying to win this year, we have to be, making moves that impact the team, man, and scare the other teams as well. Like, we're not going to scare people with like freaking, I don't know, give me an example, like freaking somebody we just drafted or signed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we need impact players, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, we just signed back that safety that we cut before. And, everybody's in love with Mostert. I get that, but Mostert just got off of surgery. We don't want to use him up the whole season because he'll end up getting injured again. And, he was on this team before and we cut him. So that's when I say the front management needs to get their crap together, man, because you spent all that money on Tyreek and, what happens if he gets hurt? You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
God forbid.
Let me welcome I Am Not a Fish. Is this Ian Baller?
Yes, sir.
How's it going, Ian Baller? How's it going?
What's goody? How y'all doing?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm a little thrown off right now. Adam E said, any truth to a Ramsey rumor to Miami? I have not heard anything about a Ramsey to Miami move, but I'm going to look into it while we're getting into the conversation. I have not heard anything about this. Now, we have heard about the safety from San Francisco possibly being an option for Miami. We have a Kareem Hunt. We've heard that the Dolphins are intrigued by a cornerback from the Cleveland Browns. From what I'm hearing today, even from what I heard today from Mark, because yesterday Ali was bringing it up. It's the what's his name again?
Greedy.
Greedy, yes, Greedy, the cornerback that can play safety. Now that we have a safety issue, yes, Brandon Jones has been ruled out for the season with a torn ACL. That came out today from McDaniel in his press conference. I have not gotten into Tua's press conference, but Tua did reiterate that as far as what I got a little take from it, says Tua says his coaches emphasize that they don't want him to lower his head, shoulder like he did on Sunday night. He said, "For me, it's football. I can see the first down in instances and want to do it all. I can do and go and get it." So obviously the coaches they weren't too fond of Tua, going in with his head first. As much of our fan base, as much as we like to see that, understand that concussions can happen to anybody. It doesn't necessarily need to be a defensive player. It can be an offensive player. It happens. It's football. It's a contact sport. It's going to happen. But I understand that the coach is wanting to basically telling him, hey, listen, you got to watch out for yourself. So I don't want to put too much emphasis into that.
I know he was trying to get the first down. I know it, and I give him the props for trying to go for the first down. But dude, you're being pretty much got the microscope on you right now. You can't be doing that crap. Not right now, at least.
And he's got to get that first down. He was short 1 yard, so he's got.
Yeah, but what happens if this guy lowers his head a little bit more? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't afford to have that type of gamble on week 6 or week 7. Like, I get it, but save that for the end of the season. Save it when you're in the winter. Save it when you're in the rain, when it matters, and you can't throw the ball.
I get you. What's going on, Trey?
Yeah,
Chef Juice said, "Scared money don't make the money. Come on, Greg, get the weapons, man." Listen, so again, I brought this up yesterday. I know I told you guys how I felt. Let me know. I guess I'm having connection issues. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm good. Maybe it's my headphones, man. My headphones are crappy. Can you hear me?
No. It's on my end. As my Wi-Fi is acting up weird right now. There now it's normal, but it was acting up weird. What's up, bro, Runner and Trey? So look, yesterday I was in the mindset that I didn't want to do a trade for Jerry Jeudy. I understand that we don't know the compensation. We don't know how serious this can be, but it's gathering some steam. As soon as the show ended, we talked a little bit about it on MCJB's channel, Bars and Fins, and we were talking about with the guys. We're chopping it up.
And real quick, like Alf Ortega, Alf Ortega is pretty reputable in the Dolphins community. He works for Ethan Skonak over at 5 Reasons Sports. He has his 3 yards per carry podcast, and he's got connections that are saying that this trade has feet, and the rumors are pretty true. Like, as far as the Dolphins' interest,
he wants out. He's disgruntled. So Denver doesn't have to trade him. At the end of the day, they don't have to trade him, but he's still on a rookie deal. But if Miami, listen, a great point was brought up yesterday that it had me thinking, and literally. I tried going to bed. I woke up a couple times. I was just thinking about this over and over. And I woke up today, and I'm with the mindset that I would go after Jerry Jeudy. Now, if Waddle, God forbid, knock on wood again, if Waddle or Tyreek can go down, let's say Tyreek were to go down, and Waddle has to step in to be the number 1 guy. He's done it before. He did it last season. But if you want to keep going and have a good run at this playoff situation that we're looking at, making the playoffs first, and then continuing on. You need to have a backup plan. And I understand that the Dolphins offense right now has been so dependent on Waddle and Tyreek, and I understand that. But we want more production from other guys, Gesicki, Cedric, whoever's out there, Cedric Wilson, Trent Sherfield, Craig Kraft, we want production from somebody else because we're relying on these guys so heavily that if you were to go down, now you need one of these guys to step up dramatically, and that's where my issue is. Now, Jerry Jeudy's on a rookie deal. You ask yourself, what would it take? Now, I am not giving you what I've heard. I'm just saying my opinion. And I say, offer a Cedric Wilson. He's under contract. You give him up, throw in a 3rd-round pick, maybe a future 3rd-round pick. So 3rd this year. We have 2 3rds this year.
Yeah, if the compensation is not a lot, is not a lot. I agree with you, man, because, I'm not on the mindset of having all these Alabama guys. But if it helps out Tyreek and Jalen, which – to be honest with you, I want to talk about that later because I think they're more hurt than what people think they are. But if they can do that, why not? If it's good compensation, why not? If we want to win now.
That guy's a beast, man. Like, I don't know about you guys. I literally, as soon as the show ended, I fixed myself a sandwich and I was like trying to look into Jerry Jeudy. Obviously, I saw a little bit of him in Alabama. Thought he was a special player. He, great route runner. A lot of people say he doesn't have good hands. I think he has good hands. He has great speed. And I just started watching tape of him in Denver and in college. And it reminds me a lot of Waddle. It does. Now, he doesn't have the Waddle speed, but it's pretty good. How do you guys feel about adding a Jalen Waddle if the compensation is right, like Cap said?
DM baller?
Well, I'm not for getting Jerry Jeudy. That's just my opinion. He's on a rookie contract. If you trade for him, you got to give up draft capital, and then you got to pay him. And then what is he gonna want? Is he disgruntled because of how the Denver offense and coaching staff is looking, or is it has something to do with the contract, or both? So that's where I am cause for pause. And yes, I'm not saying he doesn't have hands, but his hands are very inconsistent. So, and McDaniel did say this in his press conference. If y'all heard, they were saying, well, why isn't Cedric Wilson getting many touches? And he's like, well, that has more to do with how Trent Sherfield and our top two receivers are playing than Cedric Wilson. And he says that he's going to get Cedric Wilson more involved. But that's also if we keep him. So we'll see what happens. But
He said that today? He said that today? Okay.
Yeah, he said he's looking to get more involved because he's been banged up with the ribs, and because Trent Sherfield has been stepping up. Trent Sherfield's going to get more targets than him, so we'll see what happens. But
it's good to know. I didn't know. I didn't get to see the presser, so I appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't know about. That'd be nice to get. Cedric more involved.
It sounds like that he hasn't given up on Cedric Wilson. He believes that he will have he'll do his job later in the season. So, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. If we get it, depends on the what we give up. But whatever we can do to help the team win, I'm all for it. I'm just not a fan of the Jerry Jeudy acquisition. I'm all for getting Greedy Williams and that safety from the 49ers. I'm all for that, though.
Mm-hmm. They're great moves. I mean, I like it. And apparently, as far as the Cleveland Browns with the whole situation, addressing the Kareem Hunt, apparently they might want to look into. They play Monday Night Football. Trade deadline is Tuesday, so they want to see what happens as far as a win on Monday. If they lose, they might get rid of some of these guys. I understand that you're going to get Watson at some point this season, but they do got to pay him next season. I know he has like a $1 million contract only for this season, but giving rid of a Greedy, getting rid of a Kareem. I think it's something that the Dolphins need to definitely look at. And it could be, it's possible. It's not something like Tyler Moton. Like for me, that's a dream trade scenario for Miami. I don't see it happening because I don't see them coming to terms on a trade with Carolina, even if Carolina is willing to shop him. I mentioned the whole Burns Carolina trade, that Miami was one of the teams that basically put in for the trade. But from what I've been told, one of the biggest reasons why Carolina turned that down was because the picks the Dolphins offered were later first-round picks. Like, they weren't this year's. They might have been 2023s or 2024 or 2025. They were future first-round picks, and then Carolina declined that. Now, you got to take that with a grain of salt. This source from the Burns is not a source I usually go to, but that's what I was told. The team, we were that team that inquired about him. Now, hold it with a grain of salt. Again, rumors are rumors. That's why they're rumors. They come and go, and you never know what's more true. And if it was a credible source that I'd be like, look, this is legit. But that's what I was told from a source that I recently came in contact with. So we'll see if that was any truth to that. But I know Cap wants Burns on this team. He likes Burns, and Burns is a beast. We all understand Burns is a beast.
Bro, did you see what he did in that Tampa Bay game, bro? Yeah, he literally made Leonard Fournette look like a kid. He was ragdolling him all over the place, bro. And Leonard Fournette is a big stud, bro.
He is a beast. That's why I don't think Carolina was ever going to trade him. I told you that, Cap. Yeah. Carolina was never going to trade him, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, look. Let's put it like this, man. As far as the interest in pass rush, if they made an acquisition for a pass rusher, then we're not that far off. They are looking for pass rush help. And if that's the case, I also saw, and I was sending it to Batman too, what do you guys think about Robert Quinn coming back to the Dolphins?
No.
Robert Quinn's $18 million. You don't want him.
Yeah.
They had 18 sacks also, Mark, last season.
He did.
You can't. What are you going to give for a rental player? Because that's what you're really getting, because you can't afford.
Well, I mean, it's a rental player for a rental player at this point, or rental. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to rent a player, you're going to give rental money. You're not going to give a lot of capital, which Chris Greer is notorious for shopping at the Dollar Tree. So I would think this is a Dollar Tree move if we're not going for a big time hitter.
The Dollar Tree.
Well, what are you are you proposing a player for player trade? What are you proposing to get Robert Quinn?
Let me see.
It's not gonna. Look. What's gonna be more, Mark? Try to get somebody that's near equal compensation for Robert Quinn, or somebody that's gonna ask for a lot for Roquan Smith. You tell me.
So let me ask you this question, Cap, because you brought up the Roquan.
No, I would like Mark to answer real quick before you ask yours. Mark is quick with the tongue, so.
Okay, well, first of all, the Robert Quinn situation is a 33-year-old defensive end on a nondescript team for the most part. That's got, I'm not sure if he's got any money in 2023, 2024 or not. I know he was making $18 million this year, and that's why he was untradeable earlier. What the Dolphins really need is Roquan Smith. You don't really need Robert Quinn.
Okay, so then I ask you the same question you asked me. Like, if you're not willing to give up peanuts for Robert Quinn, what compensation are you going to give up for Roquan Smith?
Indianapolis offered a third, was turned down. The Dolphins, I think, could get him for a second-round pick and maybe Cedric Wilson.
Did you see the amount of plays that Roquan Smith has made the past 5 weeks? Like, he had a pick six, I believe, touchdown interception return. He had a pick last week.
That's what I'm saying. A number 2 pick next year. And
you don't think that value's going to come up?
So Cap, his contract, yes, it is 16 mil this year. Next year he's at almost 17 mil, and he is at 16 point something 2024, and he is 32 years old. So it's not a good contract. It's not a good contract, especially for his age. He only has one sack. He only has one sack this season.
It's not a good contract, but let me give some credit where credit's due for Chris Greer, which is not a lot, and I don't do that often, but he can pretty much space in the numbers when needed. So how much are we paying Tyreek this year?
Paying him
You're paying $5 million for Tyreek this year, and then almost $30 million next year.
Okay, all right. Well, it's the same equivalent as what the Browns are doing with Watson. Like, you don't have to pay a lot.
Well, all the guys who were brought in, the shiny new pieces like Armstead is front loaded, Tyreek is front loaded. Wilson's like 3 years, $23 million. Edmonds is $6 million each of the first 2 years.
Yeah, but Edmonds, I think, all of his guaranteed money this year.
Yeah, so you're proving my point, Mark. Like, why? Look, Roquan Smith, I would love him. I would like to get Burns too, but it seems like we're gonna ask too much for Burns. Like we were, not being prepared for that. But how long are we gonna hold on to this capital, bro? Like, when do you guys want to release this capital?
Hey, but what's going on? By the way,
what's going on? Shake money.
You got like $7 million in cap space this year, and you're in the red next year. So what capital are you talking about?
So look, if you want to win now, the hell with the cap numbers and the hell with all the time we get penalized for going over the cap. If you want to win now, what the hell's the problem?
If you keep the team as it stands right now, you're probably going to be 11-6. You're probably going to be the 5 seed, and you're probably going to play the number 4 seed in the playoffs and probably win that game. So
okay, you say all that, Mark. Anyway. You say all that, Mark, but then you criticize Chris Greer and pretty much banish Stephen Ross 6 feet underground. So what the hell are you doing here?
I despise both of them. I think they're
okay, but you think we'll make the playoffs and have a winning record with them? Make up your mind, man.
What are you looking for? Do you want to win a Super Bowl, or do you want to go to the playoffs? What do you want? This team is not going to beat Kansas City or Buffalo.
I hope you're not asking me because it sounds like a rhetorical question, but you know damn well where I want to go. But I mean, come on, man. Like, we cannot hold on to this capital forever. I'll be 80 years old by the time we get rid of this capital.
That $7 million that you have in cap space this year is going to be going to pay the bill for next year.
I'm talking about draft picks, Mark.
But you want to give up draft picks for Robert Quinn, who has 1 sack and is making way too much money. Like,
and by the way,
I'm just telling you how Greer thinks. I'm just telling you how Greer thinks. That's all. And all of you know he shops at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, but
here's the thing, real quick. Let me say something real quick. Number one, it's not going to happen here. Well, Robert Quinn isn't going to happen here because the reason he left the Rams in the first place is because he didn't want to play outside linebacker. He's strictly a defensive end. And if you look at New England and if you look at Flores' defense, all of his defensive end minus Agba are defensive tackles for some reason. They love defensive tackles for all across the board for their defensive line. So that's not going to happen.
It's true.
Well, I mean, you got to look at that. I put a little bit pushback on that, Shake, because of the fact we went after Deion Jordan, because of the fact we whiffed on Charles Harris, who was both a hybrid back and end. And,
but for the 4-3 defense, though, bro. This is the 3-4 defense.
This is not a 3-4. This is a hybrid scheme defense. And when we play zero, it's pretty much the same equivalent to a 4-3 because we're bringing guys off the blitz.
But look, if you count the snaps, they more primarily play in a 3-4.
I mean, tomato, man. At this point right now, if they're looking for edge rush help, that means we're inquiring for edge rush. So I'm not that far off.
No, if they do get edge rush help, they get guys like Von Miller. There are linebackers like Roquan Smith. It will be another one. You know what I mean? They get their defense. Guys. Yeah, their defense edge rush predicates on the linebackers, not defensive ends.
Oh, I get that, but the people they're looking for right now are edge rushers.
You're playing Phillips and Ingram at outside linebacker.
Yeah,
so you're doing the same with AVG also.
Gaining.
You're doing the same thing with AVG also, but when it comes to the midseason at the end of the year, just like receivers, they get banged up. We didn't have any edge rush pressure last season or receivers because they all were banged up in week 16.
So is that a problem of conditioning, strength coach?
And you don't think player now, like AVG?
No, it's a problem of depth.
Gee, I said that in training camp.
And nobody said you were wrong. The problem is you can't be right about everything you say.
I think you're onto something, Cap, and I agree. I just don't think Robert Quinn, at least for Robert Quinn's situation, I would not agree.
No, look, I'm not in love with Robert Quinn. I'm just telling you the numbers that Greer works with. Greer likes to shop at the Dollar Tree. I'm sorry. So you have to be able and willing to get
money this season. You did spend some
You're going to get second-tier, third-tier contracts. Just be prepared for that. You're not going to get a big name if we do make a move.
Got Tyreek and Armstead. Yep.
I mean, can you imagine a more beautiful day, guys?
It is beautiful. I haven't been outside yet, Color, but let me put that on the big screen. Hold on. Let me put that on the big screen so people can see how beautiful it looks. Wow, it looks like it looks like a coloring book for kids. Look at that.
I'm telling you, man. Look,
it's not hot, right? And it's not hot, right?
What's that?
Definitely better than
hot outside.
San Diego color. I have to tell
it's about like 80 degrees. Not bad at all. Nice and dry.
Hey, where you at? You at the DMV?
No, I'm up in. No, it's a Denny's.
Oh,
free plug for Denny's.
Hey, Color, prayers up. I hope your mom is doing better. I know you said yesterday you were gonna.
Oh yeah.
Out, so.
Yeah, she had had some kind of inflammation in her trapezius muscle up where it meets the base of her skull. So it was it's really painful.
Yeah, I feel you, brother. I got my mom's in the hospital too right now, man.
Oh, yeah, they did an MRI and gave her a bunch of Valium and Vicodin and sent her on her way, so she's all right. But
hey,
I just came up to say, you say tomato, I say tomato, you say Robert Quinn, I say go F yourself. Anyway,
great color.
Yo, you guys got to realize, man, I lived in St. Louis area for like 11 years. I was there, dude. Robert Quinn was a St. Louis Ram. You guys really want a guy that's been in the league that long at that position? Seriously?
I'm just telling you how Greer thinks, bro. I don't want him, but I'm just telling you how Greer thinks.
Oh, I don't doubt you. I don't disagree with you there, Caplet. I'm just saying, man, you're right. That's bottom of the barrel right there, man.
Yeah, if we're talking with Chicago about Quinn over Roquan Smith, that tells you everything you need to know about Greer.
Hey, put it this way, Chris Greer. Hey, listen, Chris Greer is like this. You ask him for a PlayStation 5, he goes, "Look, I got you a Sega Genesis." Same thing.
You guys are Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Well, that's what I've been saying, guys, about Greer forever.
Second-tier guy,
how does this team win with this guy? I mean, where do you go with it? He's the general manager. The decisions that are being made are twofold.
Mark, you want to know why, Mark? Because you disguise his GM ability with another co-GM like Tannenbaum, and then you got who? Reggie McKenzie and Marvin Allen next to him. Like, somebody's going to be the fall guy, and he's not going to be the fall guy if other guys make moves.
He's making trades and moving money and playing games, so he keeps his job. That's one of the things I was saying.
No, but what I'm saying is he'll pass on the blame to either Tannenbaum or McKenzie or Allen. I guarantee it.
Well, I'm sure you're right, because I don't think he's a very good GM. I don't think you think he's a very good GM, but I don't think Ross is ready to move on, and I don't understand the reason why. I'd like to understand the reason why. I mean, what is it with Ross and Greer? I just look at Ross has owned the team for 14 years. He's had 6 head coaches and 5 general managers. There's just something that's just not right here.
Hey, Color, can I ask you a quick question, Color? I'm sorry.
Sure thing, man.
Hey, do you know about TVs? Did you fix TVs back in your heyday?
Just Visios, and which are pretty simple to fix.
Okay, because I got a Vizio too, a big screen Vizio, smart TV. I have a little fuzz at the bottom of my. It's not that I can still see through it, but there's a little fuzz on the bottom of my TV screen. Is there any concern about that?
If it's not bothering you, then there's no concern. But if it is, it could be like there's like this one thing called, I think it's called like an interposer or something like that. Some of them have it built into their panel and some of them don't. So some of them it's replaceable and some of them it's not. But that's usually what the problem would be there, like, or the digitizer or whatever it's called. Those things, basically, if you pull the back panel off, they got two boards, a motherboard and a power board. And so basically, if you got a light on the front of your TV, it's not the power board. Okay. If you ever have a problem with a Vizio, turning on.
But you think that's a cheap fix or no? Is it a cheap fix?
I mean, it could be. It depends on if how available that part is, and if it's not one that's built into the panel itself, because those panels could end up being more expensive to replace than just buying the new TV.
Okay, I got you. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
No problem. Especially but real quick, especially in the Sony market, like seriously, if there's something wrong with your LCD panel, you're gonna spend more money replacing that panel than you did when you bought the TV.
So you got LCD projection and then 4K and high definition. Like, is it like a bulb, or you have to change the bulb shake, or?
Well, there's like some of them, like I said, there's the motherboard, the power board, and then some of them actually have this other board called like an interposer or a digitizer or some terminology like that. They interchange it. And on some of the TVs, that part is part of the LCD panel, where some it's replaceable. And little things like fuzz at the edge and stuff like that could indicate, that's where the problem, but it could very well be as much the motherboard, which I guess if you're willing to take a chance online with a shady place, you could probably get them for $60 or $70. But if you go to visit, anything you get from the manufacturer is going to cost you more than just buying a new TV.
Yeah, bro. Them components nowadays, bro. Then you got to order them from somewhere, and it's most likely China, and they're not selling the part anymore, so they get discontinued.
Shit, man. When I was growing up, man,
I'd also double check all your HDMI cables. Try another port. Make sure it ain't just an HDMI port malfunctioning.
Yeah, man.
On your settings, what are your inputs on your TV settings?
My inputs, and it's on every input. Even when I play the PlayStation, when I'm watching.
Right, so it's in the TV.
That's a TV issue then.
Yep. Now, whether it's in the panel or not, like I said, it's hard to say. Generally, like if a Vizio technician has like certain checks they can do to kind of tell. Like I said, if the power light is on the front, it's definitely not the power board. And most things end up boiling down to the motherboard because it's the only other part, and it's kind of like a little computer in there. Basically, it's got a motherboard and a power board.
What are you looking to get with your TV? Let me just ask that. What do you want?
And I just wanted to get rid of that fuzz. That's all.
Well, no, I mean you can get rid of the fuzz by getting a new TV. I'm just trying to find the most cost-effective solution for you.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to get a new TV, I just get a new TV because they're so cheap nowadays. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got Black Friday coming up.
Walmart's probably the lowest price you're going to get for a TV. Replacement TV. Yeah.
Go to a pawn shop.
Actually, I got mine at Sam's Club. It was pretty cheap too.
You got Black Friday coming up. Black Friday's coming up too in about a month. Plus, yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah, Best Buy has already started their sales, from what I hear.
Oh wow.
But hey, man, I remember when I was a kid, you could the TVs I used to watch, you could drop them down the freaking stairs, plug it in, and it still works with no issues.
Hey,
yeah, well,
the TV I got.
But remember, you needed a pair of. But remember, the channel changer was so clunky. You literally needed a pair of pliers to turn that thing, man.
I've been lucky, man. I got a Sony Bravia I bought in 2006, and it's still hanging, and it's still working, and it's good
wow. Flat panel?
Flat panel.
Wow, cool.
Still,
no
guys,
ghosting
I
or
don't know if
nothing.
any of you guys are old enough to remember
Nothing.
the TVs where you'd actually put the antenna up on your roof and, you know, tweak around with the antenna.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the rabbit ears.
Yeah, I remember the days where you used to have to get where you had to stand in certain spots to watch the TV.
I was brought up in Buffalo, you know, in Hamburg, New York, and we used to watch like the junior OHA game, hockey games on Sunday mornings after church, or you know, after church, and we would be playing with the stupid rabbit ears and everything. And oh my God,
Lewis.
times have changed.
Lewis with the hot take. Black Monday will be coming if McDaniel loses to the Lions on Sunday. Damn, already?
Hey, here's the
already?
latest news, guys. Mike Williams for the Chargers out 4 weeks.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Well, let me ask you.
Oh yeah, you know what? Hey, Mark, you remember the vertical hold and horizontal hold that you had to tweak because none of them could stay stable and not send the bar up the screen? Like TVs used to get like old and like eventually they couldn't actually hold their refresh anymore.
Yep,
so you'd have to sit there and tweak the vertical hold knob so the bar would stop flipping up and down the screen.
Yep, Mike Williams out 4 weeks. Chargers expect starting wide receiver to miss 4 weeks.
Well, maybe we could trade for him.
Y'all boys get
no, but let me ask you, Cody, I haven't got a trade.
Pick up Josh Palmer if you do fantasy.
Would you stay put? Would you sell? Would you trade? Would you bring in a guy or two? It doesn't matter both sides of the field. Like, what would you do as far as a trade?
I mean, ultimately, Batman, it's really hard because what's going to end up happening, I think, and we go through this every year. Every team does because the NFL, like everybody has to realize, the NFL just doesn't make the type of moves that the baseball world does around this time. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's a lot of things we could do or should do, but then you think, well, if our players just did their freaking job, we really don't need anybody. Everything is like a waste or overkill.
I agree.
You know, but we do have depth problems here and there, you know, but it's like, which do you choose? Do you flip a coin? Or I guess at this point you just go for the best deal. But talking about a running back just for the sake of it being the best deal or an upgrade, I don't know about that, man. You know, like even with wide receiver, it's like, yeah, I get that. Who says we have to do anything? It's not like it's the draft where just go with best on board. No, we don't have to do anything. And if the guy in positions that we need ain't available that are worth a dang, then we're stuck. It just is what it is. There's no bringing in Kareem Hunt's not going to solve our offensive line problems.
Oh no. But I just like it because like I know
I disagree, Color. I disagree. You need a bell cow to get them 1 and 2 yards that obviously Edmonds can't.
Okay, then maybe that was a bad example, Cap, because I kind of tend to agree with you that it's like a duality there. You know, same with quarterback. But let's say let's think of another position we're strong at, wide receiver. What's bringing in Jerry Jeudy gonna do?
Well, when December comes and we're down 6 receivers like the past 2 seasons, that's when it comes into play. So I don't have no issue with that. But but
we haven't had no problems. I mean, I don't think we have problems at wide receiver. We just need our guys to cross the end zone.
We have a quarterback problem.
Oh, hush, Mom. You heard it from the mouths of babes, man. And she said it, not me.
I'm eavesdropping.
Yeah, Mom's over here eavesdropping. She says we got. She says hi, and she thanks everybody for the well wishes. Appreciate it very much. And also, she says we need another quarterback.
Mom is right. Mom is 1,000% right.
Hey, so RJ, talk to us, man. How do you feel about all these trade rumors that we've been getting, and Brandon Jones now being out for the season, our safety? How do you feel? Do you want to give a guy like McKinley a try? I like that. I like that move a lot. Talk to us. How do you feel about it?
No, I'm going to be honest. I'll believe it when I see it. Hopefully they're fucking smart enough to realize that, something's got to be done. You know what I mean? far as Brandon Jones, man, I'm pretty sad about that, bro. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard because I had to take a call, but you see, Mike Williams of the Chargers is out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh
It's,
Palmer,
bad
man.
news for them.
Go pick up Josh Palmer in fantasy, people.
Oh, Josh
So,
Palmer was hurt last
we
week
got-
too. He had a
gotta pick
concussion,
up
so he should be
somebody.
back next week when they play again.
So you're all for Ron, you're all for trading and bringing somebody in before Tuesday's trade deadline.
Yes.
You're a buyer. You're a buyer.
Absolutely, yeah, we have to be. I mean, you know, if we want to make the playoffs, we need a little extra help. I believe. I don't know, man. I know a lot of people has been, saying some silly shit about, how they feel about Tua Sunday and what he presented. You know what I mean? But I just see him getting better, man. I do. I think he is going to bring us to the playoffs if he gets the right tools. I do.
I think it's not just.
I think this
it's
is
not
really
just
interesting.
tools. I think Tua needs to play better. He needs to play better. There's
Yes.
no denying that.
Yeah.
Obviously the line needs to play better. Running backs, the play calling needs to be better. Everything that, like you guys have mentioned, we expect this team that we thought, at least for sure, we could all agree we didn't think this was going to be a 16-point offense, 13-point offense team. We need to score more points, simply. But we are happy with the win, but we do need to understand, if you want to compete with the high-level teams, and I mean that not just in the regular season. I mean that if we think this team could be a playoff team, like most of us do, we need to be able to compete with the big dogs. And to compete with the big dogs, you're going to go toe-to-toe scoring, and you just hope and pray that your defense can do something. And we know our defense can do something. So it's can the offense be to par with, Buffalo, Kansas City, those teams, Bengals.
Right.
You got to compete with these guys, and we got to go through them in order for us to get to where we want to be, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, Batman. It leads me to a question, which I think I want to, pose to both you and the panel. In that, what is the goal? What is the goal for this season?
For me,
or for everybody on the panel.
For me, I want to at least get to the playoffs, and I want to win one game. If we can do more, yes, I'd be extremely happy. That would satisfy me for this season. But I do want to win a playoff game. I don't just want to make the playoffs and say we made the playoffs.
That's where I am. I think this team is an 11-win team, a 5 seed, a win in the first round, and a divisional playoff loss. It's a building issue. You have to take a step, and then then take the next step. See what happens in the divisional playoff game, and then go from there.
Yeah, but to your point earlier, Mark, you make a move from Armstead, you make a move for Tyreek. You don't think that's a win now mode move?
You're not in a win. You're in a win mode now, but the front office never buttressed the offensive line, never really successfully addressed the inside linebacker issue, and fate is unfortunate with all the secondary injuries. I mean,
so you're saying we win all in the wrong way, also. So we tanked wrong and we win all in the wrong way, also.
You didn't go in the wrong way. You went in a way that didn't complete the job, in my opinion. You didn't build the offensive line sufficiently, and he didn't address the issues at linebacker, both of which could have been addressed in training camp with the cap space at $17 million. Now it's down to $7 million, and you got a big cap number for next year that you have to pay against, and free agents like Needham to have to be maybe re-signed. Where does he come back off the injury? You got Brandon Jones, who's probably going to miss half of next season with the ACL at the unfortunate time of when he got it. You got to be able to deal with Wilkins, because Wilkins is on a 5th-year tender right now, but his contract's going to go up. Gesicki's going to be gone at the end of the season. We all know that. And now you have to, and then you got Byron Jones' situation. He's going to be gone at the end of the year. And you've got a $22 million cap with Howard next year. And you've got all these developing young secondary players like Terrell Williams and Kader Kahu. And there was another one, I'm sorry. And maybe Noah's playing a little bit better. So maybe it's time you have to start looking at the future and for 2023 and say, all right, if I'm a playoff team now, what do I have to do to become a Super Bowl team? And I don't believe the answer is, I have to get such and such a quarterback. My position is your quarterback is more than good enough, in my opinion, to win playoff games with the talent, with the offensive talent on hand. You've got money that's being currently wasted by what happened. I think Cedric Wilson was an accident. He was signed before Tyreek became available. He needs to move on, and his $23 million over 3 years needs to go. Edmonds needs to go at the end of the year. And bring in. You need to bring in like a really good bell cow kind of running back, and in the draft, you need to grab an offensive lineman, a serious offensive lineman, and see what happens when Jackson comes back. Because this, like I said, this year is a go to the playoffs, win the wild card game, go to the division round. Next year is the Super Bowl window year, in my opinion.
What do you think about that, Ron? What do you think about the question Mark presented?
As much as I hate disagreeing with him, he's right.
Okay. Adam E said, Batman, what's up with Dieter? I feel like you're pushing him to center and sliding Connor to guard helps more to even though Connor has been solid at center. So, listen, as much as I hate Dieter, I agree with you. We should play him there. But at this
a move
point,
I've wanted since training camp.
At this point, like I said, Dieter has to be in the doghouse, whether it's McDaniel or a guy on the coaching staff. I don't see why that wouldn't do it. Now, that being said, it didn't help that this morning I wake up and Connor is ranked top 5 centers in the league. So you get what I mean? It's hard to make that move. Now, again, moving Connor for me makes sense because like right now I'm not feeling Eichenberg. Let him ride the bench. Let him learn.
Well, Dieter can also play guard. Batman.
I know he can. We drafted him as a left guard. But at this point, I would play Dieter at guard. At least try it out. See what he can give you. But
I don't know.
For whatever reason, Miami doesn't feel that
way. I mean, Liam gives you mobility, but he's also functionally weak and has short arms.
He is.
So that's where you are with him. With Dieter, you're getting a solid. Well, Dieter's not a scheme fit, and I think that's part of the reason. Dieter's more of a push and pull, offensive guard, and Eichenberg is a movement guard. And the whole reason they drafted Dieter and made the moves that they made with the draft choices and passed on Creed Humphrey was because they were looking at Austin Jackson, who's a move offensive player. So they were even though Flores was the head coach, they were developing the line as a zone scheme wide run team even under Flores.
Yeah, I hear you. What about you, Cap? How do you feel about it? At Dieter at this point.
Yeah, look, he's interchangeable. At this point, he's not going to get, dealt. If he gets dealt, then that'll solve the issue. That means we're going to make a move for O-line help because you're not going to get rid of Coleman and Dieter. So we're just stuck with that right now, bro. Like, we got to learn to accept the fact that Connor is doing better than him and see if we can interchange him, on right guard or left guard because he's got to play, man. If Dieter doesn't play, that's just a paperweight, bro.
He's a contract.
The talk has always been that, that Greer has blown the draft choices, for example, on Kinley and Jackson and Eichenberg, et cetera, but I think this is a scheme issue, not more than anything else. They drafted players into one scheme, and then they changed coaching staffs or offensive. Actually, they changed more offensive philosophy. Then they brought in players that fit the new philosophy, and then some of the older players under the old scheme, kind of shoot out the door. Dieter's certainly one of them, and obviously Kinley is the other one that I can cite of what happened. And it's just, to me, I just have to believe that if this team is a playoff team like I think it is, and a wild card game winner, then the McDaniel selection was correct, and you have to let them finish out the process. If you've got a general manager and a head coach that are working hand in hand, like the success other teams have had in history, then you're going to end up being a winning franchise. It's not, instability is never going to cut it. So to me, if you make, let's just say more injuries happen and the Dolphins miss the playoffs and they fire McDaniel, would be the worst mistake I could ever even imagine.
Everybody, let's welcome Pete and Estefan. How's it going, gentlemen?
What's up,
gentlemen?
Man? Yeah, man, I think that's bullshit, bro. Dieter is a scheme fit. He's a better scheme fit than fucking Eichenberg. And I've been telling our fan base going back to last year, even when we drafted that son of a bitch, that Eichenberg was a fucking sorry ass pick. And we gave away. The reason he's starting is because we gave away draft capital so that fucker could be on the team. That's the only reason that he's starting, bro.
Well,
bro, it doesn't get that guy he don't bring shit to the table. Let me tell you about this motherfucker. Look, his footwork has been bad since day one. I don't give a shit what nobody says. It's not that it's bad. It's too fucking slow. And he's just not one of those guys that moves well in space. I mean, bro, he's as stiff as a fucking board, bro. There's no athleticism in this guy. So you can't put him in the tackle spot, bro. He's a liability. We drafted him as a right tackle when he was at Notre Dame, bro. When you looked at the tape, bro, I couldn't find any reps where he was, playing on that side. Everything was on the left side. That's why when we drafted him, I couldn't believe that we drafted him, bro. That's the only reason that guy is starting. You can't get any worse than that guy. I'm telling you. If you put Dieter in at guard, he's gonna do better than this motherfucker, bro.
He is. You're right.
Anybody,
right.
That guy don't even have the anchor to play guard. Why are you, bro? To be honest with you, he's a backup and he is a project. He should not be starting. Dieter should be in that left guard spot. Okay, I'll give you Connor being at center, and he beat Dieter. And did he really beat Dieter? Because from when you watching the tape, everything that not everything, but Connor is giving Tua a bunch of high snaps, bro. And that's just the fact, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you do to fill in your line, even though you might take, a little bit of a backward trajectory with Dieter at center. It's not that far off from what Connor's giving us, bro. Because Dieter played center last year. It wasn't, bro. When did you hear Dieter's name coming up that often last year? Maybe like 2 games, bro, where he had
there was a couple of times he did get thrown to Tua, but I agree with you. But even like you mentioned, at this point, if you don't want to move Connor, because I think the problem with the Dolphins is that they see that Connor's top 5 right now as far as centers. Yes, he has his high snaps. I get it, but they're not going to move him. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that Dieter is not better than Eichenberg. There ain't no way in hell you can tell me that.
His anchor's horrible, bro. His anchor's horrible at guard, bro. I'm telling you, man. Why not? Try anybody, even Robert Jones, bro. Yeah. Anybody besides Eichenberg, bro. Robert Jones at least gives you athleticism whenever you need to move out in space, bro, because of the technique that these guys got to use in this wide zone that we're doing, bro. Like it's not even about muscling like power gap, bro. This is all technique. It's just footwork, and this guy's just too fucking he's not athletic and he's slow, bro. If you look at the technique that they want them to use, they did these towel drills. If you look at his footwork, bro, he's just too slow. That's what I see, man. He's just too slow. I think we have guys on the roster where we could put anybody there and worry about anything else, bro. Like a tackle. If you want to go get a tackle, if you want to go get a linebacker, bro. But they won't do it because of the investment that they made in Eichenberg, bro. That's solely it.
I agree. Greer is being stubborn. I know. How do you guys feel about it?
This is the part that I don't get. If we can see this, why the fuck aren't they seeing it? Why aren't they doing anything about it? What is it with they're
giving him reps hoping that he'll come along because of the investment, bro. That's the only reason he's out there.
That's called pride and ego.
It's because it's capital that was used. It was money. There's money involved, bro. Bro, when you give up capital, that's like giving up money, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody likes to admit when they're wrong when it comes to spending millions of dollars.
Yep, you're right. You're right about that. And that's why I say I can see Miami possibly making moves. I just don't see them doing anything on the offensive line. I can see cornerback. I can see safety. I can see running back. Hopefully linebacker. I mean, I haven't asked you as to Finn, and I haven't asked Ron either. How do you guys feel about this Jerry Jeudy stuff?
I don't like it at all, bro.
The whole thought, it's ridiculous.
Can I say something about Eichenberg real quick, bro? Like when you look at these prospects coming into the draft, you know more or less where they're supposed to be drafted, right? But let me tell you about how the Patriots did it. That rookie that they got, he's doing pretty good, bro. And I think he wasn't projected to go until like the 2nd or 3rd round. He's already producing for them. I think what our guys do, our scouts, including Greer, bro, is they look at where a guy's supposed to be drafted, and that's where they're going to take him. They don't look at what you see with your eyes and what this guy will give you on the field. Sometimes it's worth reaching for a guy, bro. And I'm sorry, but where did we take Eichenberg in the 3rd round?
Yeah, we traded a second.
You're not. Or what was he, a 2nd or 3rd round pick is what I'm saying. I don't remember.
We were supposed to
They
get
moved up
Devontae
to the
Williams
second,
in
and
the second round, and then we gave up the second round to get him because we didn't want the Devontae Williams, so that's why they gave up the capital.
Okay, bro.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay, so where we took Eichenberg, bro, at that point you're reaching everything's a guess, bro, to a certain extent. Like, why not just go on what you see with your eyes if you're actually evaluating people or you got scouts? How could you suck that bad at drafting O linemen, bro? That's what I don't get. Why do they suck that, bro? You could take a fucking fan that just knows enough about these players and they'll get you an offense. They would have hit on the lineman already, bro, compared to what these assholes are putting out there for us, man. We get shit for an offensive line.
The only guy that we hit on is Hunt. That's it.
They listen to the circle they're in. That's what they claim. But then when everybody talks shit, then they say that they listen to the fans and take receipts. You know, they gotta. You know what I'm saying? Look at Green Bay. Green Bay listens to their fan base. Their fan base is freaking majority stockholders in that team. You know what I'm saying? They might not have a lot to say, but they.
I wouldn't say that, Cap. They literally didn't give any receivers to him. And now
I haven't said this in a while. But when Flores was here, do y'all remember he said that the guys that he was looking for, he was looking at hands and feet, right? He was looking at hands and feet whenever they were evaluating these players, whether they were going to draft them or not. Well, I'm sorry, because if you're looking at hands and feet, there's no fucking way you can tell me that our scouting department knows what they're looking at, bro, with the guys that they're bringing in for the O-line, bro. Because when you're looking at hands and feet, you can't tell me. Did you even watch the tape on Eichenberg, bro? That's what I question. Like, I know he didn't give up any sacks. I don't care about that shit, bro. Did you actually watch his tape? You know what I mean? Did you see athleticism? Because I didn't. And if you're looking at hands and feet, bro, I've said this before, like the receipts out there a long ass time ago. Our fucking scouting department sucks balls, bro. That's where we're failing, man. What the fuck?
Could be. I mean, look, we started on. I understand this team is we have guys that we brought in this year. We brought in what's his name? Tyndall. We brought in Easy E. 2 guys that we haven't seen too much out there, and I think we want to see these guys out there. I think everybody can agree on that, but we're saving these draft picks for what? At least not the first rounders. You can understand you want to trade that maybe for a quarterback in case it doesn't work out. But you're telling me 3rd rounders and 4th rounders and 5th rounders. Like, you're gonna really hold on for that for what? If you're not gonna play these guys anyway, like, why not trade it for proven players? Right? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. We're getting the door, but I'll be right back.
Hey, man, I think our scouting department is horrible when it comes to offensive linemen and linebackers, bro. We'll see what happens with Tyndall. He looks a little bit more promising, but he was lacking reps coming out of Georgia. It wasn't like he was getting a lot of reps, bro. Like, even he's considered to be raw and a project at that spot, bro. Like, I'm telling you, man, I don't know, man. I don't understand their mentality for, I don't know, bro. I'm puzzled by how they draft players and what they're doing. Like, I think that like just us.
They overthink.
I think you put it, bro. You us in the war room, bro, and we have just more fucking common sense than they do, bro. I'm not saying Tyndall's not going to work out, bro, but that's the reason he's not out there, man. His read and reaction for that position, especially in the NFL, because the NFL, bro, is not like college. Like, that's just basic offenses and shit. Like, there's audibles and shit that get called at the line in the offense and shit changes, bro. And now these guys have to react differently. Like, you have to know, like, even though he said he played in that scheme when they interviewed him, it's not the same when you're in the NFL, bro. And that's what I saw in the preseason was there was times where, like, I like his measurables, like his speed, his size, all that shit. The way he can cover, even in the pass game, he looks like he's got potential to do good there. It's his read and reaction, bro, where, like, if he's off on a play and he reads that play wrong, he's going to whiff, and he's going to whiff bad miserably, bro. He's going to leave a big ass hole for, you know what I mean, an offense to, convert, yards on us or and whatnot. That's why he's not out there, bro. Right now he's a liability. He's just But I mean, when do you implement him? Like when do you? He's got the only way he's gonna get better if he's getting live reps, bro. He's not getting it. So I don't know, man. My bad. I don't mean to dominate the panel.
Oh, what happened, guys? Oh, it looks like Batman left. So, panel, I think we're all kind of convinced that, Chris Greer is having some failings on the offensive line. Do you think that's a byproduct of the information that he's getting from his lead scouts, or is it just that they're in a scheme issue, or it's just general incompetence? Because I can't answer that question. I wish I could.
I don't think anybody can, to be honest with you.
I think Miami by all means, like I think Estefan hit it on the money.
I think what bothers me so much is, obviously I was born in Buffalo. Obviously I'm a primary Bills fan, but I loved the Shula era Dolphins, even though we lost 20 games in a row to you guys in the 70s. I love the Marino Dolphins. I love the Marino Kelly stuff. I root for the Dolphins 15 games out of 17, during the season. And and I'll be honest with you, I'm angry. I am angry because this team should be better than how it's performing. And it's just really frustrating that, I like a team. I want them to do well. I'm happy with some of the moves, but it's like, why is it never finished? And I'll tell you, I come onto the panel shows and people laugh at me because, well, you can't be a Dolphin and a Bills fan. Well, maybe not normally, but in this case, I am. And I'm angry. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, you're entitled to that. I get it. I mean, like I said, our O-line looked pretty good on Sunday. It wasn't atrocious. It wasn't bad. But I do think we need help.
He has almost no sacks since Watt went out.
I understand that too. I mean, Hayward was the only guy really. I think he leads the league in sacks, doesn't he? But he was on that team. But he was the only guy. That being said, Miami needs to
not Hayward, the linebacker, Hightower.
Okay. So my thing is Miami needs to make improvements. I love Raheem Mostert. I think he's great, but he is 31. He has had knee issues. He's never been able to. I don't think he's ever been able to finish a complete season. I got to look up that stat. I'm not sure.
No, that's why I kind of like the Kareem Hunt thing to the Dolphins.
I think it's good. 27 years old. He's on a 1-year deal left. 1.97 mil. I think. He couldn't be had. You might have to extend him. But listen, if you're going to move on from Chase, even if you involve Chase in the trade, you say Chase in a fourth, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it.
Yeah, but I don't think Cleveland's taking the deal because they're not going to take $6 million for a guy that's a worse player than a guy they're giving up for 1.9.
But we could eat up the money too. I mean, we have 7.7 million in cap. We can eat that money up and make the trade work, or we could just keep him. At this point, you can just keep him. Maybe
you keep Edmonds, you cut him at the end of the season, and you add Hunt to the lineup, and all of a sudden you've got a much more energized running game.
I would do maybe if Edmonds doesn't intrigue them, I would say, hey, what about Gaskins in a fifth? Because we do have a fifth.
I have another proposal for it. What about, because the coach who is for Cleveland is now hurt, and now maybe this is the way that you get Gesicki at $9 million off or whatever's left on that $9 million off your roster.
It's a possibility. You could do that way. The thing is, you got to look at the cap space and see what they want to do. If they're trying to get rid of cap, I don't know if they're going to want to do that.
Well, I don't know. Well, this year their cap space is really good, but next year all that cap gets evaporated on the Watson.
Because it's only $1 million for Watson. Yeah, it's only $1 million this year for Watson at least. Next year is different.
46.5 next year.
46.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. Like the NBA has guaranteed contracts, but they don't have to deal with this crap about having to open end or back end contracts. I mean, the contracts are guaranteed, and if you have to adjust it sooner or later for a max player, then you do it. But the NFL just needs to set,
You know, the team that
certain
understands it better than anybody else, Cap, is Kansas City. Kansas City was the
I'm not
first
gonna.
one,
Hey,
and
look,
they're the
let me tell
smartest.
you, man. When Scott Pioli was there, I was so pissed off that the Dolphins didn't go after Scott Pioli for general manager. Scott Pioli
Oh
goes
my
to
God.
Kansas City and gets Andy.
Yeah, because Kansas City was the first team to understand the long-term contract with flexible money, and then Buffalo stole the idea from Kansas City, and that's what Buffalo did with Allen at a slightly shorter term than what Kansas City did with Mahomes. And you're going to find all these big quarterbacks, and I think it's going to be really interesting because the next three contracts that are going to come up are going to be Burrow, Herbert, and Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson wants guaranteed money, $50 million, $250 million, 5 years. I think in Cincinnati and Chargers owners are basically their wealth is tied to their franchise. Mike Brown in Cincinnati and Spanos in Los Angeles. So you're not going to see big money guaranteed deals for either Herbert or Burrow. So I think they're going to be percentage of the cap kind of guys, because what Kansas City did and what Buffalo followed up and did is made their quarterbacks at about 18.5% of their cap, so they can continue to keep their roster year after year after year and move money down the road. They're playing the New Orleans game, but they're playing it smarter than what New Orleans did.
Yeah, but the front ending and back ending, I mean, sooner or later somebody's going to get bit in the ass if these general managers don't do it right.
New Orleans is $54 million over the cap next year. I don't see why the Dolphins don't go to New Orleans, who's a 2-5 football team, and start getting guys off their offensive line. They're trying to get a guy or two off their offensive line. I'm not seeing.
Come to think, if Greer's doing it right now, we're going to end up paying the price for it later on. Like we're back ending a lot of contracts now, aren't we?
You're back ending the Hill contract. You're back ending the Armstead contract. Those are the only two. Tua's got 2 more years left in a reasonable contract. And Cedric Wilson and Edmonds are the only 2 contracts that I consider to be really bad contracts at this point.
What's going on, Pete?
You hear that dog? That dog is out here screaming, "Get rid of Tua." I hear him all in his chest.
Give me 1 second.
Hey, what's up, fella?
You're one of my
I'll be right back.
man.
Let me take care of these dogs. Hold on.
Take care of those dogs, man. They let them eat Tua alive. Listen,
Hey,
guys.
Mark, how you doing, man?
Listen, I hear you guys. I hear a lot of the community and complaining about offensive line still. And I just don't quite get it. I really don't get it. And a lot of the what was the guy Estefan complaining about? The lineman on the left guard. I forgot Eichenberg. If you notice, if you notice, everybody only wants to give credit to Teron Armstead, but we were running the majority of that game to the left side, all in between Eichenberg and Armstead a lot of the times, and they were working. It was looking efficient. This is a game, right, versus Pittsburgh, that we were supposed to allow 5 to 7 sacks. Brian Flores knows everything. He knew this team. He knows Tua. He knew everything. And we didn't even allow
talent, though.
And we didn't even allow a single sack Sunday night in front of the whole world. And our run game. Hold on, Mark. I don't want to hear any of that. If Eichenberg is as bad as everybody else is claiming, Mark, then we have backups on our offensive line and we're in trouble, right? But yet, guess what? 0 sacks, and the run game is working effectively all game. The only time they're complaining is because it didn't work on 3rd and 3 and 4th and 3. That's all you hear the crying. But we won that game. And the main point was we didn't score enough points. And you know why? It was not because of the left guard. It was not because of penalties. It was not because
of Tua, right, Pete?
It was because of Tua and him not scanning the field and force feeding the ball to people. Okay, he's a one-read quarterback. He just snaps. He snaps it and throws it to Hill or Waddle. This guy has open Waddle on one of the first drives for a touchdown, 80 yards, and he hits Tyreek Hill across the middle and he drops it. Why are we going to continue to just make up excuses when we know that the problem is the quarterback?
You think Waddle's more hurt? You think that's what they're going after Judy?
Waddle's more hurt. Was he hurt on that first drive when he was catching passes flying like a penguin through the air? These guys are not hurt, bro. They just play hurt. As soon as they don't get it their way, Cap, listen to what I'm telling you. It's a locker room driven team. When the players that want the ball aren't getting it their way, they're going to bitch and moan and complain and get on the sideline. That's what's happening here. That's why the only two guys that have catches are Hill and Waddle. The next guy down the list, with all the receivers we bought in and we brought in, everything else, the next guy down the list is Gesicki, who doesn't even play many snaps.
Yeah, can't argue that.
Where's Cedric Wilson, Trent Sherfield? I thought Chase Edmonds would have had 30-something catches by now. Listen, I know there's a chance the Dolphins won't do it. And at this point, like my name says, I just can't wait for the season to be over, because it's just not gonna, it's just not working out. It really isn't. And you know what? I honestly think Tua only deserves 5 at whatever possessions going into halftime. Whatever possessions going into halftime. He gets, let's say he gets 6 possessions going into halftime. If this guy doesn't score on at least 3 to 4 of those possessions, and if he scores on 3 possessions out of those 6, 2 of them better be touchdowns. If he scores 4 times out of the 6, at least 2 of them better be touchdowns. Not 3 field goals and 1 touchdown by Mostert or Edmonds catch. None of that. This is the statement game right here versus Detroit. It doesn't get any worse than this. If Tua struggles offensively, you bench him at halftime and you throw in your rookie. Look what the Colts are doing.
You guys hear me? You guys hear me?
Yep, we hear you. Look what the Colts are doing. They paid Matt Ryan, but they're not sticking to their guns. You think they're sticking to their guns? Oh, we paid Matt Ryan. We got to stick to these guns.
They're benching him because they don't want him injured, so they have to pay him next year. That's the reason why he's benched for
They're
the year.
benching him because of poor performance, Mark. I don't want to hear any of that.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Mac Jones?
Matt Ryan and the Colts.
And Matt Ryan is also a fucking 100 years old.
He is. They're saying that he might retire. He might not even come back to the team.
He already retired. He went to Indianapolis and retired.
No, I'm saying he might retire now that he got benched.
I'm joking, Batman.
Oh. No, they're saying that he might retire. He might retire now. Like, they're saying that he's probably not going to take the bench role, so he might just retire.
Yeah, I mean, you could time his throws with the sundial. It's not pretty.
Hey, Pete, let me ask you a question. I know that you said that at the beginning of the season. I mean, I have you for 4 wins, so you're right. So we already met what your expectation of what we were going to do this season as far as 4 wins. Right. My question to you is, though, are you a buyer or seller come Tuesday?
Right now, I'm a little ahead of what the fan base, the Tuaneers, like, because I know they're not happy at the moment. But me, I like our record. I didn't think we were going to be at 4 wins right now this early in the season, Batman. And that's what I do like about the team. I think it's, like I said, I do see, I just see that we could score more points, but we're just not. We're really not. I appreciate you, Bob. Go ahead, Flick. Hold on, fellas. I'm walking into a gas station.
Uh-oh, getting the rumors. Okay.
It's about to be here, boy. Nah, I'm messing with you. Listen, this team right now, I don't know if you were listening to me, Batman. We have to bench Tua if this guy does not score in the first 5 possessions. If we get 5 possessions before halftime and he doesn't score 2 touchdowns versus the Lions, you bench him. We cannot continue with these struggles at all. Bear with me 1 second. I got to put some gas on. Hold on.
You got to build continuity, man. I know that Tua, he's been gone. He came back. I'm not using excuses. I'm not using the Russ excuse. I'm not using that. That first series, he drove down the field. They looked good. I like what I saw. After that, I understand that they made adjustments on defense as far as Pittsburgh. Second half adjustments. I know that the Dolphins probably were on the field a little longer because Tua had to come back to do the ceremony. But as far as rust, I don't want to use the word rust, but I definitely think that we need to see what this team can be when they're together. And I think for the most part, the offense is together. And you're missing Jackson, but hey, you could deal with injuries. I think Shell played pretty good at right tackle. He's not an earth mover or anything like that. But hey, if you can hold his own, that's all I ask. I don't need you to be some Pro
Bat,
Bowl. Or,
let me ask you a question, Bat. I feel like, I heard this the other day, and I know it sounds so cliche about all three phases of the game, but you just brought up a great point. Like, when are they going to do it together on both sides of the ball, like consistently?
On all three sides of the ball.
Like consistently, bro. Like not 1 week and then 3 weeks take off and then do it again. Like when is it going to be that we see both sides of the ball on offense and defense? I mean, if you want special teams, I get it, but you're not going to have full balance. But when the hell are we going to have 2 out of the 3 phases cooperate every week on a week and out basis?
That's what we're hoping for. Every week I go with the mindset that, this is going to be the week. This is going to be the week. We got to hope and pray that we can get all 3 facets moving. I mean, look, Sanders had a great game. We've all been on Sanders' throat this year, him kicking the ball. He had a great game on Sunday. A lot of people are not even talking about that. He had a great game. But I need to see consistency from him because we're used to him 2 years ago being good. That's why he got the contract he got.
You know what sucks, Batman? You can't say anything good about Sandman because if you do, they'll make it seem like he's scoring more points than Tua. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be the end result.
And you know what, Cap? And it's sad to say, yeah, I was going to jump in and say that before you said that. Jason Sanders? Like, come on now. This guy should not be being praised right now. Yeah, he should be getting praised in situations where Tua drove us down late. He kicked a game winner. The last time we saw Jason Sanders last Sunday night was like what? In the second quarter when we should have kicked that field goal to go up 19. After that, that's it. We didn't even get a field goal possession. It was just Morstead. And I hear you on that too. When are we going to get the whole team? I always go back when I think about that. I always go back to that London game we had versus the Texans. When everything clicked, the run game, Lamar Miller, Tannehill was lighting it up through the air, Rashard Matthews catching bombs, and everything was working in that London. I think we beat them. I don't remember the score, 40-something to like 10. Who knows? I don't remember. But that game, everything came into fruition on that game because when you saw that this defense at that time, that 4-3, remember everybody hated that 4-3. It was wide 9. But what does that wide 9 do? It causes those 4 guys to pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. You have to score points. And that's what happened that game. We scored points early on. Our defensive line, who everybody hated that year, just went nuclear, and they couldn't be blocked because they were playing from ahead. And Capitan, I'm sorry to tell you, it's almost identical to this year. We don't even have a secondary anymore. So we don't have a secondary anymore. Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, if they were in and playing consistently, then this offense will be able to score points early and we'll be turnover friendly. We'll be able to play both sides of the ball crazy with Tua scoring points, not field goals, but touchdowns.
I agree.
That was the difference.
I agree. By the way, Pete, you've actually admitted before that, we needed Byron back, right? We needed Byron back, and I don't think we're going to get Byron back this season. How do you feel about that?
I feel like we keep being lied to by this regime, and this is why each and every single week I start hating the coach and the GM,
and the medical staff. The medical staff can't tell a concussion from a back injury, bro.
Yeah, like we keep being lied to, Batman, and the hate meter, like even after a Sunday night win, an ugly win like that, it just keeps going up, like slowly but surely, it keeps getting higher. I'm starting to hate this team even more week in and week out. The one thing I do want to see, Batman, is this defense just get crucified already. I don't want us to have a good defense at all. I hope we have the 30th ranked defense in the NFL because I'm so sick and tired of having a good defense and not a good offense.
I think we do, actually.
That's what I'm saying. It's trending that way, Cap. That's why. Listen to me. Since
Pat,
it's trending that way, we're gonna end up having to move on from this quarterback, because once we don't have a good defense and Tua can't put up points, we're gonna desperately move on. And I think that's gonna happen this Sunday versus Detroit. They're hungry.
Batman, can you look that up to see if that's accurate? What are we ranked defensively? Because, man, I mean, I'm getting brainwashed thinking we're top 10, and I don't even think we are anymore.
And let's say we were top 10 last week. You think we're going to sustain that with the new injuries? We might have a new cornerback playing outside.
Yeah, bro. Hell no. We're going to crap. Man.
Just like the Tua guys. They started week 1, Tua's number 1. And each week goes by, 29. He's number 2, then number 3. Then he keeps going down and down that list as more 29. Games he plays.
29? 29.
Ay, Dios mío.
We're ranked Brandon Jones.
29.
But I'm not worried about that. I'm actually happy that our defense isn't the main clog here. We need it to be the offense. We can't go have primetime games anymore, dude. We don't deserve it.
I get you, but offensively, we're ranked 6 in the NFL.
Offensively, we're ranked 6 in the NFL, and you two and are gonna hate what I say next. Guess what? Remove that fourth quarter from the Ravens game. What are we now? Just matter of fact, I don't want to remove the fourth quarter. I'm nice with it, Batman. I'm nice with it. How many touchdowns he threw in the fourth? 4? Then you know what? Let's give him 2 of those. Let's give him 2 touchdowns, because it's possible Tua could throw 2 touchdowns in the fourth. But 4, heck no. Give me 2 and take away 2. I'll be fair with that part.
6.
We keep going down.
Man. Damn, I can't believe 29th, man. I did not expect to hear 29th ranked in defense. I really did not expect to hear that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be.
And our defensive line have been fairly healthy the majority of the season.
Not the last couple weeks. Like the last 3 weeks, we haven't. Everybody, let's welcome Joseph Aguero. What's going on, Joseph?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, Joe. What do you know?
So I'm new, so I've been, listening to you guys for a long time. This is my first time calling in. Pete is someone that I've been wanting to talk to. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
He said, you said you wanted to talk to me?
Yeah, you. You said something last week, so I feel like you're always contradicting yourself. I'm not a Tua-neer. I love the Dolphins. The Dolphins are my team. I supported them since 2010. You were saying something last week about, Tua shouldn't play last week's game.
Since 2010.
Because
that's only 13 years. You sound like you're in your 30s.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s, but I've been more.
What the hell, bro?
I was more of a Heat
Welcome to the panel, buddy. Let me hear you.
I was more of a Heat fan, so
okay, that's fair.
But so Pete said something last week, and I just want to understand his take from it. He was saying last week that Tua should be benched last week against the Steelers because he was going to come back rusty and everything, saying that the Steelers were going to, expose him and whatnot. And then he's here complaining that Tua only scored 16 points. It doesn't make sense to me for him to go ahead.
How
and say,
doesn't it not? But first of all, you don't think Brian Flores exposed Tua? Was it Brian Flores that sat here and dropped those 7 interceptions? Think about that. Think about how many interceptions he threw if they were caught, right? Would Tua have even finished the game? And check this out. Did Tua even do enough for me to even sit here and say I was wrong? He wasn't wrong.
No, Tua.
He got exposed.
But he still won the game, though, and he still did his part.
He did not win the game. No, he would not have won the game.
Being rusty, like you said, because you said that he was going to be rusty and that we should.
No.
Last week,
you must have understood that part wrong, Batman, and you know that. Batman, I was the one saying. Batman, I was the one saying. I was the one saying that I don't want to hear any rust excuse. because Tua's not coming back from a broken knee. He's not coming back from a broken thumb. None of that. He really didn't get like a major injury. He just got a little concussion.
Right, but he didn't play for like 3 weeks. He didn't practice or nothing.
But that was him. He can't take on the hits. That's his problem if his brain shook harder than other guys.
We're talking about after. We're talking about that's why he looked the way he looked. I think that's what this guy means. That he.
But listen, how come I was the one saying I don't want to hear no rust excuse, but yet Tua could open up the game with no rust.
Well, I heard you say differently. Maybe it's
no.
me,
The new
but
narrative I hear
say-
now, Pete, is because the first quarter was scripted, and they're supposed to have scripted plays to help the quarterback, which I call bullshit on.
So why can't this coach be smart enough and script 4 quarters of a game for Tua then? They might as well script 4 quarters for that guy.
Ale!
What's up, Cap? Just enjoying.
Hey, the missus let you come out to play?
Man, I'm at work right now on my lunch break. So,
hey, real quick before I get to Alex, Joseph, let me ask you a question. The trade deadline's on Tuesday. Are you a buyer or a seller if you're the Dolphins?
I will buy. I would definitely try to trade for it. If you guys see the video in the 22, you see that stop that they had on 4 and 3rd. If Chase Edmonds would have run to the left side, which I agree with Pete there, that the offensive lineman was playing great, he would have scored that touchdown there. If you look at the video, you'll see it. So I would say we definitely need if we can get a Kareem Hunt, I would definitely go with that route. You know, the wide receiver, no, but I would definitely go with getting a running back, and of course maybe a cornerback with all the injuries we've had.
Okay. What's going on, Alex? Talk to us.
well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
So, I'm with Joseph on the trade deadline. I'm definitely buying, because this team is too good not to make the playoffs. And a little pieces here and there, and man, I just heard the news earlier. My boy texted me earlier today about Brandon Jones. Oh my God, man, that's a devastating injury.
But we knew that was going to happen, Ale. We knew that.
That's bigger. That's actually a big injury. Bigger than what you guys think it is, because Brandon Jones was one of our best pass rushers, and he was the leading tackler on our defense.
It's crazy to say that, a safety.
Yeah, but he's so good. He's gotten so much better through the years. Yeah, but I'm with Kareem Hunt. Go out and get Kareem Hunt. At Jerry Jeudy as well. I know you're against that, Batman, but I still think
I slept over it overnight. And somebody brought up a good point last night, and they said after the show was over, he said, God forbid, knock on wood, if Tyreek were to go down, Tyreek Hill goes down, then you have to put Waddle back into the same situation you did last year. But is that really a contending team? So I'm like, you're right. I know we got guys like Cedric Wilson. I know we're paying a guy like Cedric Wilson. I think E's going to be redshirted this year. I don't think he's playing. You got guys like Craycraft. You got guys like Sherfield have stepped up. Now, can you count on any of those guys to be a Waddle, to be your Waddle?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. And I understand people are going to say, well, we don't need a receiver. That's granted. That's fine.
No, Batman, you're right. Remember last season in December, we lost how many receivers?
Yeah, like 6, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But my thing is, Jerry Jeudy, he's under rookie contract. If you could move Cedric Wilson's contract and maybe it take 2/3, one this year and one next year, and you can get a Jerry Jeudy, and at least you solidifying that in case of an emergency, because like you brought it up, Cap, and I see it. I'm sure not all of us could agree. At times, it looks like Tyreek and Waddle are playing banged up. They're playing hurt, and Jerry Jeudy's healthy. And if you can get these guys healthy and not give them as many reps as they're getting and distribute the ball a little bit more, because I'm putting a little bit of blame on Tua. I'm putting blame on McDaniel and the coaching staff. I'm putting blame on we got to score more points. It's simple. Guys, we're going to go to war. If we really want to keep going, scoring and competing in this league, we got to go to war, and we got to be able to compete with teams like Buffalo.
I think that would calm down the fan base a little bit if we were aggressively moving for somebody that's a top-tier player.
Couldn't agree with you guys more on that. Also, I want you to keep an eye on this name, Bradley Chubb.
Yes, I heard about it.
Keep an eye on that, because I'll tell you this right now: if the Dolphins can find, if the Broncos lose Sunday, they're going to sell. And if you can find a way to package Judy and Chubb to come to Miami, I doubt it would happen, but because that's a dream scenario. But if Chris Greer can find a way to get a package with Bradley Chubb and Jerry Judy, I think, and maybe an offensive lineman from Denver, then, oh my God, Chris Greer will pull up. I think the fan base will bow to Chris Greer on that. Honestly.
I'd be happy.
You know what's crazy? Let me tell you something, Batman. With a real quarterback and a consistent one, this team right now, at worst, will be 6-2, 5-3. At worst, heading into this game. And we will not be talking about no other position, no trading. We will not be talking about that. That's where this team needed to have been at. That's where the energy was all through the offseason when we hired McDaniel. We were ready to go to war with this team that we brought up on. Not none of this crap by week 8. We need this, we need that. That's already letting me know. This is why I come up here on some of these shows and I implode. Because 8 weeks later, we're doing what we were doing in the offseason when we were asking for players. You can't play free agency all year long. At what point is your locker room going to be a team?
But Pete, again, I reiterate what I said. Like at the beginning, before we played our first game.
Are we playing fantasy as a GM over here?
Before we played our first game of the season, for 4 weeks straight, a month before the season started, I kept telling you we needed more help. And I know that we got help. We did bring guys in. And I'm happy for it. I'm happy we paid Armstead. Obviously, you're seeing Tyreek. He looks great out here. And you were saying it was a waste. He's looking amazing out here. I know we want more touchdowns. Okay, that's true. I give you that. But
take away the Ravens' touchdowns. He has 0 touchdowns. 0.
I'm telling you, this is what I'm trying to tell you, Pete. What I'm saying is we did enough. We didn't do enough to improve this offensive line. And yes, we did say we brought in the coaching staff to help.
And look at you now. Hold on, Batman. And look at you now.
But wait a minute. They did, though. They did. You can't listen, Pete. You can't sit here and tell me that just because, mind you, you work your way to the NFL, you go through high school, you go through the college ranks, you fight your ass off to make it to the NFL, and then you get to the NFL. There are going to be times that you're going to see, yo, this guy's trash. You get what I mean? And we saw it in the Flores regime, and we're seeing it now with the McDaniel. So sometimes you just got to cut bait, and it might be Greer, the one that's holding everything back, not letting you bring in another guy to replace the guy he drafted, and that's fine. But understand, I said, look, Connor Williams, he was a ranked top 10 left guard last year, and right now he's a top 5 center in the league statistically wise. Armstead, we know Armstead is going to be Armstead. So Armstead's doing Armstead. He's not learning nothing. Armstead is Armstead. But you're getting play from Connor, and you're getting play from Robert Hunt. They're both increased their play. They look better. So they have been coached up with time with third year for I think 4th year for Connor, 3rd year for Hunt. So these guys are playing great. But sometimes you can't teach guys that are scrubs. And
Brandon Snell's another one, Batman.
That's another guy.
Snell's another one.
But I need to see more. I need to see more from the right tackle position from him. He looked good on Sunday. He looked good. But Eichenberg, you got to cut bait, and that's it. Look, I'm not saying cut.
Well, Eichenberg had a good game on Sunday.
No, people that seen the All-22 told me he was trash. Good. People that saw the All-22 told me he was getting pushed left and right.
Look, Batman. So, you're sitting here, right? You're sitting here on the screen, and this is what got me to go at you right now. You're talking Jerry Judy.
I know.
That right there got under my skin. What are we going to do with Jerry Judy, Tyreek Hill, Cedric Wilson, and Jalen Waddle?
Because
you could win a Super Bowl.
If you can find Denver to take on Cedric's contract, and you could swap Cedric and Judy, I would do it in a heartbeat. And
Batman,
here's the thing, Pete.
Hold on, Alex. No, there's no thing. Because listen, you guys want Jerry Judy now, and all of that offensive line help that we could have used, we could have literally spent less, got Jerry Judy a long time ago, gave Tua both of his Alabama buddies, right? Think about that. We could have spent less on Jerry Jeudy a long time ago, and we could have drafted some linemen and some running backs and some cornerback help. That's how you build the team, is through the draft. You don't give it all away. Not
How
for a
tall is Jerry
Tyreek
Judy?
Hill.
How tall is Jerry Judy?
He's taller than Waddle.
6'1".
He's taller than Waddle and Hill. But the thing is, he doesn't run a 4.3. That's the problem.
But he's good though. He's
He would be like getting. He would be like getting another Devontae Parker.
No,
Pete, I hear what you're saying, but you got to understand something. All contending teams are gonna need somebody, are gonna need help down the stretch. All contending teams are gonna need help. Whether it's Buffalo, a juggernaut like Buffalo, Kansas City, all those teams are gonna want to get somebody in to fix what they gotta fix. You think
The
every
Rams.
team in the
Ale,
league?
look at the Rams. The Rams went
Exactly,
after
the
OBJ.
Rams. Yeah. You think,
Everybody, let's
you think
welcome Mounty Fins. Let's go down, Mounty.
Teams only do that, Alex, if we lose Armstead.
Hey,
He goes
man,
down.
what's up?
Then you make a left.
up, man?
Then you make a trade for a left
That's
tackle.
not entirely true.
They're not doing anything. No team is doing anything right now.
I understand. You're absolutely right. But the thing is that sometimes it doesn't take that. For example,
Why did the Jets trade for that running back? Why did the Jets just trade for a running back?
They lost their best
Exactly.
player.
That's what they do. That's what happens.
City, what does Buffalo need more? A running game. Buffalo has no running game whatsoever. They need a back.
Okay. But they're a pass team.
Josh Allen on the IR.
So I mean, in Kansas City, what do they need? I think they need
but
more.
listen,
They need
but
another
listen,
receiver.
hey Alex, you're coming me, but you're saying Buffalo has a game, right? But Buffalo keeps keep trying to draft running backs. James Cook, Zach Moss, Singletary. They're trying through the draft, not desperately trading for a Christian McCaffrey.
We could have had
That's
Kenneth
true.
Walker. Nobody wanted Kenneth Walker. Look at you guys now.
I did.
You see, when I was saying it, everybody was like, we don't need a bell cow. The guy's breaking through tackles, fourth in the NFL, and busting tackles for touchdowns. But no, we don't need a bell cow.
You don't think Buffalo keeps trying running backs every year, Cap? They're not going to end up with another Marshawn Lynch soon? Imagine Josh Allen with another Marshawn Lynch in that backfield. Now they got the running game. They got the receive. Yeah. Imagine them.
How pissed off would
that's-
you be if Kareem Hunt ended up a Bill? What? And I'm asking Mark too. If Kareem Hunt ends up in the Bills at the trade deadline, I'm gonna be pissed.
That's a great question, guys. Because, if the asking price is a fourth, I think Buffalo would even go to a third. Although they do value their draft capital because that's the way they build their team. Kareem Hunt becomes the game changer in Buffalo because he's better than Singletary. Although, believe it or not, coming out of college, he only ran a 4.6. You know that?
Hey, Mark, you know why it makes even more sense? Because all the running backs you guys recently drafted, you could just dish one of them out in that trade. And both teams get a running back, and the Browns could get...
They could trade Moss to Cleveland and a pick. And go ahead and
Mark,
get Kareem
I think
Hunt.
Singletary.
I think they may very well do that.
Bro.
I like Singletary. I really do like Singletary a lot.
Well, Singletary's not going to be there next year, though. He's a walkaway free agent. They don't have the money to sign him.
I would love the Dolphins to go after Singletary.
Yeah,
he's love
Singletary
here in Miami.
He's not coming back. He's not going to come back to Buffalo because Buffalo can't pay him.
Isn't he part of Perform?
Yeah.
He works down here with Tua and Nick Hicks.
And they got to pay next year, and they get to pay the following year for Gabe Davis. So I don't see where Singletary is going to get a second contract in Buffalo. Moss is just
if Buffalo were to pay a running back instead of paying Singletary, it would be better to pay at least Kareem Hunt.
They'll pay Hunt 1.9 better than Singletary.
Yep.
And Singletary will get more than 1.9 in Buffalo. So that's just unfortunately the way it is. And they got James Cook, but he hasn't really proven anything yet. Moss has proven that he can.
Yeah, Cook has to gain like 10 more pounds. He'll get it though, but Cook looks all right.
Cook just I think his issue over there was fumbling, dude. That was
fumbling. Moss fumbles.
And you know what, Cap? You could be right. It's his little weight issue. He ain't big enough yet.
He's a terrible inside runner.
Did Tony Pollard re-sign with Dallas? Did Tony Pollard?
Ale, don't say that, bro. Don't play with me like that, bro.
I haven't heard anything about that. When did
Because
this
now
happen?
Dallas
Don't play with me like that, bro.
with running back. If Dallas needs anything, Dallas needs receivers. I don't know why Miami
I'm
doesn't
just
pick
trying
up
to
the phone
find
and
out
talk
if
to Dallas with the wide receiver depth they have.
You know how I feel
to-
about Tony, bro.
So I would love Tony Pollard here. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my God.
Well, let me ask a question. You're not going to get Pollard, but would you spend like a 5th round pick for Zeke?
Well, I'll find out right now. Hold on. Hey,
no.
That dude, no, bro. Not Zeke. You see, I want old running backs. We just got to get a running back in the draft.
Yeah,
Guys,
Pollard's
a
not
good
going to
one.
go because he's the future in Dallas
Zeke
for
is
the
still
time
young.
being.
Apparently, by the way, the Eagles
they want to get rid of Zeke really bad.
The Eagles
Zeke
are
isn't practicing
getting,
today.
the Eagles are drawing trade interest from left tackle Andre Dillard and Broncos left guard Dalton Risner. So I guess they're on the trade block. Left guard from the Broncos. That's a player right there. Dalton
Man,
Risner.
I wish if the NFL came out with a booklet of all the guys that were eligible to be traded, that would be like freaking that would be like the new fantasy football
I always
game.
wanted to see that. Like, if we could go on NFL.com and look at the trade block, all the players that are. That's what I wanted. I've said that so many times. Can we think of like on that part? Because
You can't make it that easy. By the way, Pete, I wanted to tell you something real quick. I know Mountie hasn't been able to say a word, but Pete, thanks to you and Snappy the Penguin for getting me into Steven's Fantasy Football League. I am the only undefeated team yet left. I'm 7-0. And
very nice.
And I'm kicking ass.
Hey,
what's your team?
My
What's
man,
your team?
and that
Real quick.
my dog doing it.
What's your team, real quick?
Batman.
My team?
Yeah, real quick.
I mean, Joe Burrow's kicking ass. So Joe Burrow. I got Joe Burrow. I got CeeDee Lamb, Jacoby Myers, Michael Thomas, Shane Barkley, Dalvin Cook, Hawkinson, the tight end from the Detroit, Raheem Mostert, which is kicking ass now. Robert Woods, Ayuk, Gesicki, Herbert. I got Gano the kicker, and I got the Dallas defense.
Pretty good. You got good back. Bell cows.
Sorry about that. So, Mountie, talk to us. How you feeling about this?
They're mad I put you in there because you winning.
Say what now? Say what now?
How you feeling? How you feeling right now, man? As far as these trade rumors and all this craziness, how you feeling about this? You're by yourself.
I look, man. I'm a seller. Ogbah's got to go. Ogbah's got to go for real. Like he's not worth his money that he's being paid right now.
He just signed a contract though.
Okay.
I'm with Mountie.
And what is that supposed to mean? What is that
Hey,
supposed to
Mountie,
mean?
no, keep it going. Mountie, keep it going because I'm with you. I'm not trying to buy players and trade for players over here. I want to get rid of some of these guys. And Agba is one of them. You're on it.
We needed no. We paid the wrong guy. We needed to pay Christian Wilkins. If we're gonna pay anybody on the line, pay Christian Wilkins.
Let him walk. We'll get a 3rd-round compensatory pick. Let Wilkins walk, dude. You know how many sacks?
3rd round.
We'll get a 2nd-round compensatory pick, or a 3rd. Let him walk. Let another team pay him. Devon Godchuk at some point this year was doing better than that guy. Go look it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, hey, look, I respect that. I respect it, but hey, you know what? Look, Ogbah's got to go. He's got to go. He's not getting any pressures. He's not getting any sacks. Jalen Phillips is getting putting the work in.
He's got a back injury. That's why he's not playing though. They paid Agba money and he's not playing because of a back injury. So
and you know what? And you know what? This is one of the things I said when we drafted Raekwon Davis. I know he could be a beast, but from day one I said, man, I just think he's too tall. And that dude, he's dealing with lingering injury issues. He got hurt last week. So I say if he has a trade, we trade him too because I think he's just too tall for the position and he's going to consistently always be hurt. But that's just my opinion. He's a good player when he's in, but he's going to consistently always be hurt, in my opinion.
I think the issue with Agba is that he is hurt. He has the back injury. So I don't see him getting traded by Tuesday. Unless he can pass
first of all, with Agba, you sign him to a 4-year contract. You're going to have to eat $8 to $10 million off the cap. Right there. Like what? That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Trade
I hated
Ogba.
that we. Yeah, that was
year that they were
all of you.
available,
I wish I could just clip this and then go back to when we signed
And
them.
you're gonna have to pay him $10 million just to get out of your hair. Like, come on, man. Let's be real.
Well, that's the
And then-
that's the whole point. That's the whole point of getting. That's the whole point of getting off him. If you can move his contract,
You're gonna have to pay him for the next 3 years.
Well, look, we paid Flowers that went to Washington. We paid $8 million just to get rid of him. I forgot who else we paid $8 million just to get rid of too.
That was only for 2 years though.
Ndamukong Suh.
They only signed Flowers to a 2-year deal. So they got out of it. They got out of it after the first year. So they only had 1 year left on the contract. Or I'm sorry, 2 years. 2 years.
We had to swallow 8 out of the
They gave $7 million for 2 years to get out, but because that was Flores that wanted to go.
There was another guy. I forgot who it was that we paid to go away.
Yeah, the other guy was Calvin Noy.
Calvin Noy, yep.
Yep. Those two right there were not. Those two right there were all Flores' decisions, not Greer's. So, and another thing is this with Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins is the heart and soul of that defense. Why would you want to get rid of him? He's the glue that holds the defense together.
Talk to him,
When someone tries to blame the coach, I hate it when they try to blame the coach for bringing a player and not blame Greer. What don't you guys understand through your little thick skulls, Alex? Any transaction that comes through Miami and gets signed, if the coach requested it, it's still Greer at the end that's signing off on it. So he ultimately makes the decision on what's best for the team. I could request 10 running backs, but are all 10 going to be good? Come on, bro.
Unfortunately,
It's Greer.
Alexander, unfortunately, PD is right, but it still doesn't change the fact that Flores wanted a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
And how about some of the guys he wanted and he didn't get? So Greer is so blind, he cock-blocked the Deshaun Watson trade, but everything else was okay? Come on, bro. This guy's a clueless bum. And you know what? I already know.
Do you really want that headache on the team? Do you want the headache on the team? Like the head case? Like, come on, man. He's a head case. Watson was a head case. The Dolphins would have gotten destroyed if they would have traded for him.
Exactly.
And now we had,
exactly.
and you would have just. Do you know Cleveland got absolutely destroyed for trading for Watson, and he ended up getting suspended 12 games. And now they're going with Jacoby Brissett for the next 12 games.
And then not to mention this the latest
to
allegation.
Get him.
The latest allegation, now he could be suspended for even longer now for that new case.
Yeah.
No, man, that's double jeopardy. They're going back into the same case, the same woman, just trying to get a different lawyer. That's all.
Well, whatever the case is, whatever. No, it's just you got to give up
we already know this is all about optics and politics nowadays. So
it is.
Nobody wants to take on that drama. Nobody wants to be associated with an alleged rapist or sexual deviant.
At the end of the day, that would have been a bad decision. Period.
I hope you guys are not, counting your eggs before they hatch. Because if Cleveland does something next year, I'm gonna be super pissed.
I mean, they got Nick Chubb, man. Nick Chubb is killing it right now. I'm looking at his stats right now.
We better do something before the Browns do, and we better beat the Browns this week coming up after the Lions game. That's one game we better have. If we don't beat the Browns, man.
Listen, Nick Chubb is leading the league in rushing yards. He's leading the league in yards after contact. He's leading the league in touchdowns. As rushing touchdowns. He's leading the league in missed tackles, and he's leading the league in explosive runs. He's number one in all the categories. He's a beast.
Yo, Batman, I gotta take off, bro.
Appreciate it, man. I am gonna be ending it. So I'm gonna end it right now too.
Take care, man.
I gotta run some errands before everything closes at 4:30. Though.
You guys take care. Be safe.
You too, bud. Thanks.
Hey, much love to everybody that came out today, man. I will not be doing a show tonight, so much love to everybody coming on for the early show, man. I appreciate it, man. Everybody fins up. Appreciate it. Everybody in the comment section throughout the day, man. Much love to everybody, man. Again, I got the Jalen Waddle. Obviously, at 500 subscribers, we're at about 338 or 343, actually 343 at 500 subscribers. I'm going to be doing the certified autograph Jalen Waddle jersey. $10 gets you 1 entry, 20 gets you 3, 50 gets you 9, and 100 gets you 25. So if you want to be part of the Beckett certified jersey, make sure you hit a Phinsaholics show on Cash App, or if you have PayPal, Batman2423. So again, everybody that you've seen this show today, I know I posted at the beginning of the show, but I am doing a giveaway at the 500 subscriber mark. It is, again, certified custom autograph Jalen Waddle jersey certified by Beckett. Much love to everybody, man. Fins up. Love y'all. I'm going to probably see you guys on – oh, Lewis came in. What up, Lewis? What's going on, Lewis?
What up, Lewis? We're about to end the show, bro.
About to end the show.
Yeah, no, I heard you're about to end the show, but I wanted to get Alex's next. So we're supposed to trade for an offensive lineman from Denver, Bradley Chubb, and Jerry Jeudy.
I said that's a dream scenario. That's a dream scenario.
Yeah, again,
I didn't think it was going to happen, but
no, you know what? That's not going to happen. Just like when I played the lottery, I'm not winning it tomorrow morning when I wake up. That's not happening neither.
Hey, you never know. You never know. You have a better chance of winning the lottery.
Why would we want Jerry
than the
Jeudy
Dolphins winning?
Again,
hold on, Lewis. You have a better chance
honest.
of winning the lottery than the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. You have a better chance of winning the lottery than the Dolphins.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Listen,
hey, Lou. I got to tell you this, man. I'm done catering to fucking Sir Tua. All right, a quarterback is a quarterback. If you can't play with these guys, then fuck you.
Well, listen again. I'm on the mindset where I'm done as well with Tua, but obviously he's going to be the quarterback for this year. I'm just saying, like, I have a certain belief, but what I am saying is, right? Why would we want to go get Jerry Jeudy when our coach, and this has nothing to do with Tua, but our coach hasn't shown the ability to get anybody else open besides Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill? Because he's not scheming anything open for Mike Gesicki. He's not scheming anything open for Trent Sherfield or River Craycraft or Cedric Wilson. Nobody else. So why would I want to go get another receiver for them not to catch passes neither?
You never know.
It's called the Tyreek Hill. It's called the Tyreek Hill Dolphins.
Things could change. You never know.
Again,
never know.
That's what Alex. You see right here. People label me as the hater, right? But it's comments like that just guts under my skin. We keep 30 plus years that I've been watching this team on hopes and dreams, and now in this season we go get Armstead, a Tyreek Hill, a brand new coaching staff, all these weapons and all this stuff, and now we're still talking about hopes and dreams. You don't now, Alex. Do you see where someone like me can be frustrated in that situation?
Yeah, I can see it.
I'm tired of the hopes and dreams. This team has to start performing.
No, you're good, Alex.
God. Yeah, I was just drinking. Sorry, I was just drinking it. I was drinking a soda, and then it went. Sorry, it went down the wrong too. My bad. But
Hey, Alex is drinking that old gold.
Man. But like I said, I'll hop off that, man. I know you were jumping off, so I just wanted to come in.
Appreciate
anytime
it.
I see
Lou, text me.
Much love to everybody, man. Fins up. Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow, man. Much love.
All right, peace.
We'll continue this conversation.